Hey, this is Adrian, and in this video I want to go through gratitude and appreciation and why it's such an important part of our life, and it's something that we should be doing every single day, and it's something that's really easy to do. So I'm going to go through some of the benefits of gratitude and appreciation and give you a couple of ideas how you can bring this into your lifestyle. But first of all, if you haven't done already, make sure you subscribe to this channel straight away. That way you get updates as soon as I release new videos to help you with your energy levels, with your productivity, with your performance, all crucial to help you achieve those goals that you set yourself every single day. So what I want to do is look at the benefits of practicing an attitude of gratitude and practicing appreciation and what it can actually do for you every single day on a regular basis. And it's something that's so easy to do, and I'm going to give you a couple of ideas after just to show you how easy this is to bring in your life. But if we look at that list right now, that's a pretty high impact list, right? Just some of the benefits of practicing attitude of gratitude: better sleep, increased immunity, increased happiness, high levels of self-esteem, better relationships, lower blood pressure, high levels of optimism. That's a high impact list, right? Wouldn't you want just some of those benefits right now in your life? Well, I'd love to have all of those, right? And just by practicing the attitude of gratitude and appreciation. So it's having that gratitude for what you have in your life already. Now, there's nothing wrong with striving for more, but actually, do you know what? It's being grateful for what you have, for the person that you've become, the challenges, the obstacles you've overcome in life that's led you to where you are today. Be grateful for the people that you have in your life. Appreciate the people that you have in your life, and also appreciate yourself. Appreciate the journey that you've been on, the obstacles that you've been able to overcome. Now, at the time, they may feel like they've completely derailed you from your life's journey. But actually, if you can show a little bit of gratitude and a little bit of appreciation for those challenges, those obstacles, and maybe they did completely deviate your journey, but maybe now you actually know you're on the right path, because the path you were on initially maybe wasn't the right path. It felt like it was at the time, but maybe it wasn't. But actually, if we can appreciate those challenges and be grateful for those challenges and those obstacles, but also be grateful for the journey that you've been on, that you were able to overcome those, so that you know that in the future, you're capable of achieving much more than you used to give ourselves credit. You used to give yourself credit for, right? And too often we knock ourselves down. We don't give ourselves enough credit for what we're capable of doing. And we can have that attitude of gratitude. Do you know what? I can overcome obstacles. I can move forward. I can appreciate the journey that I've been on that's led me to where I am today. And I can appreciate the person that I am today. And I'm grateful for the person that I am today because of what I've learned in the past, so that I can handle anything in the future. And this is where this comes in really, really key. But who wouldn't want better sleep? There's not many people I'd know that would say, actually, do you know what? I don't need any better sleep. I'm getting enough. I'm sure most people just want better quality sleep just by showing that sign of appreciation. Increased immunity. Now, you know the benefits of regular exercise. It's great to fight off things like heart disease, strokes, some cancers. But would better immunity, would not that would help as well, right? Increased happiness. We know how good it feels when we watch a comedy movie or a comedy show just to laugh for a bit. Well, imagine if we could feel that on a more regular basis for no reason, not because we're watching a comedy, but we just feel happier in ourselves because we appreciate everything. We're not always striving to go, oh, I need that, I need that, I need that. You go, do you know what? I'm happy with what I've got. I'm still striving for the other things, but I'm also really happy with everything I've got in my life, everyone I've got in my life, and I'm happy with myself. High levels of self-esteem, self-confidence. Is that not good? Better relationships. So better relationships with those family members, with your friends, with your work colleagues, because you show gratitude towards them. You appreciate them being in your life. And also they appreciate you and the little things that we do for each other. Lower blood pressure for anyone that's got high blood pressure, and high levels of optimism. And this can go back to some of the things you've overcome in the past, because you're grateful of what you've overcome in the past and that journey that you've been on, where you may have increased your learning, your skill set, your knowledge. And it actually, do you know what? It gives you high levels of optimism as you move forward, because then you can say, doesn't matter what life throws at me, I can overcome it because of what I've been able to overcome in the past, just by having that attitude of gratitude and showing a little bit of appreciation. So how do you bring this into your lifestyle if you've never done this before? I'm going to give you a couple of ideas. One of the ideas you can use is you can just get a jar, something like this. And at the end of the day, you can just write one note, one little note of something that you appreciate that you may have seen that day, Maybe it was something that somebody did for you and you appreciate what they did. Or maybe it was something that you experienced and you did for somebody else and you appreciate yourself for doing it, your time that you took to do it. And you write down that note, just crumple it up and place it in the jar. It might be that you had a success, so you appreciate that success. It might be that you had a great conversation, you appreciate that conversation. It might have been that you went out with a friend and you just appreciated their company for an evening. It could be anything, but there's always something every day that you can appreciate and you can be grateful for. So you just write it on a note, put it in, fold it up and place it in the jar. And you know what, whenever you're going through little struggles and we're facing those challenges and obstacles, open up that jar, take some of those notes out or one of those notes out and just read, because then it will take you back to that activity, that thing that you did that you were grateful for and you appreciated at the time, to remind you that there's good, to remind you that you can overcome those obstacles and those challenges. And it's just a little jar that sits somewhere where you see it every single day. Have a notepad by it, have a pen by it, just to remind you to do that every single day. It takes a minute to do, but can have a really good, profoundly positive effect as you move forward in life and as you face other challenges and other obstacles. Just remind yourself that you can overcome anything. The other way to do it is just to have a gratitude journal. So what you do at the end of the day, and it's up to you how many things you write down. You might write down one thing that you appreciate about each day. It might be that you write down a couple of things. It might be that you choose to write down that you're grateful for a particular person that day. It might be that you're grateful for something about yourself and you appreciate something about yourself that you did that day. It might be something that you've experienced or something that you've seen. It might be that you got up and you saw the sunrise, or you stayed up late and you saw the sunset, or it was something beautiful you saw in nature. Maybe it was an animal, something like that. Or you had a really grateful and appreciative interaction with a client, a customer, a family member, a friend, whatever it is. But there's always something every single day that you can appreciate in life. It might be that you appreciate a good meal that you went out to. You went, oh, that was fantastic. So it could be anything. And you just write it down in your journal. And the best time to do this is last thing at night, before you switch off. So you just sit down, open up your journal and make a note, the dates and what it was. And you can fill in the page if you want to fill in the page and actually tell yourself a little story, or it might be just a short sentence, or it might be a paragraph. So that way, when you go back to the journal, you can check the date, when it was, and you can read about it, and that will bring back that memory. And memories are so important to us, right? It can really help us to kind of relive that situation again, and it helps you to remember and helps you to appreciate. And maybe it was a sunrise you got up for, and actually when you look back and go, blimey, I haven't done that for the last 2 or 3 months. Mate, I need to get up at the weekend and go and see another sunrise. Because let's face it, if you only see one sunrise a year, and let's face it, if we live to say 80, and we only ever see one every year since we were born, that's only 80 sunrises, right? That's not that much, but it all seems like it's quite infinite and it will live on forever. But sometimes you have to make time to go and do those things that you really do appreciate and that you're grateful for in life. And sometimes we don't take gratitude. We just think life just happens. But sometimes it's nice to slow down and realize that life is pretty spectacular and it happens around us. And there's some pretty spectacular things that happen near us every single day. So just take a moment to slow down, breathe it all in, experience it all, and make a note so that you can relive it again in the future and bring that memory back to the forefront of your mind. And that's why having that attitude of gratitude and appreciation is so important. But remember to appreciate things about yourself as well. Appreciate those around you and tell them. Tell your work colleagues you appreciate them. It doesn't have to be a big, massive task that somebody's done for you. It might be that they've just made you a cup of coffee in the office because you're busy and just say, I appreciate that, thank you. It's a simple thing to be able to say to someone, but it can actually make a difference to them. And actually, do you know what? The more you say, the easier it becomes. It's like exercise. The more you do it, the easier it becomes part of your routine. It just becomes something about who you are as a person. The more you practice gratitude and appreciation, it just becomes who you are. And it's just something that you do without really thinking about it. So there's 2 ways that you can do that. And I really hope you take the time at the end of the day just to write down a little note and start practicing the attitude of gratitude and showing appreciation for those around you and also for yourself. Until next time, I'm Adrian. I shall see you soon.